culture, we do believe a lot in dead people, and then that they should be happy, because if they are not happy, we will not be happy. Zdravo! It's time for spooky season, and today I would like to talk about one of my favorite topics, and it's about vampires. I have been reading these books. It's called Slavic Myths by Noah Charney and Svetlana Slapshek, and it is about all possible popular Slavic myths, including werewolves, vampires, pantheon of old Slavic gods, and things like that. It's really interesting because it is combining the stories from like Serbian or Balkan or Slavic countries, and those were written by, for example, Pushkin or Serbian writers. And on the other hand, it is talking about the idea of the myth, what myth exactly is, how we make those myths, and why do people believe in them. So it's really good, and I really recommend this one if you're interested in generally Slavic mythology and things like that. So after this not so short introduction, we will talk about vampires, because vampire is one of not so many words that are used worldwide, and it is technically a Serbian word. What are vampires? Vampires are people who died, but not really. So technically they are dead people, but not really. Why? Because in Slavic mythology, it was believed that the soul would be here on the earth. It will remain here for 40 days until it leaves the earth and goes to the other world. And because of that, we still have some kind of like strange customs when someone dies. So we will be sure that the soul left this world. And why vampires? Before, when it was like Austro-Hungarian monarchy, Serbia was a part of it. And then they had some kind of like, in a village in Serbia, something strange happened. In newspapers, they found out that a person died, and then a lot of people in that village died. Nowadays, it is believed that it is some kind of like illness, but back then it was believed that like that person returned from that because they buried him, and then he returned. He didn't have blood in his body, things like that. He returned to his home and he killed his wife. Then he killed another people, and then like that's the backstory. And then people like the king or queen or anyone from that Austro-Hungarian empire sent doctors to that particular village in Serbia, and then they have been inspecting the whole thing, things like that. And then that was the first like written information that we have where the word vampire is mentioned. And then it basically, like, because it was in newspapers, it was widespread in the whole Europe, and then people started to write Gothic stories and that kind of like dark stories about like vampires or people who returned from that and then killed a lot of other people, things like that. So that's how Europe met the vampires. And it's interesting because, uh, you know why? Because like in our culture we do believe a lot in dead people, and then that they should be happy, because if they are not happy, uh, we will not be happy. And it makes sense why like the whole meat was made here on this territory. Nowadays that kind of meat was like it's in popular culture. But like if we talk about language, and I love to talk about this a lot, uh, if you take a word vampire in Serbian and want to put it in accusative case, it would be living. It means that like it has a soul. So basically vampire is a person who still has a soul because its soul didn't left his body. So do you have like in your cultures the ideas about vampires, or any kind of like that kind of things, really spooky or interesting things? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, that's it. If you stayed until the end, hvala puno, and see you in the next video. Ciao!